Hey there! Happy December 16th! This is your Advent calendar present for today. For those of you who have never seen or heard me, I'm Robin. What's up? And where should I start? First of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Really glad to be part of the Advent calendar. All your presents so far have been fantastic. Completely blew me away. You guys are awesome. And hopefully what I'm about to give you will be, on par with the high standard we've already set. What I've done is I have written you this epic winter poem that I'm going to be doing a live reading of right now. It mentions a lot of people. If you're on the Advent calendar, then you're automatically in here, but I've also threw like a bunch of foreigners' names in here. And a little bit long, but just stay with me, and you're probably going to hear your name. It's going to be great. So, without further ado, let's get the show on the road. The snow tumbled down past the glass window pane. I frowned as I stared out, racking my brain for a way to describe, for a way to explain how all this insanity kept me so sane. I turned from the view and stared into the heart of the NTWF, home to the kind and the smart, this community built upon vision and art, where holiday fun times were starting to start. I gathered myself and strode into the forum to be met with a joyful familial decorum. All of the members, much more than the quorum, were gadding about with auras of aurum. In the midst of the sight stood our elegant tree, gleaming with forested evergreen glee. With ladders and pulleys, a certain few three hung baubles and tinsel for hundreds to see. Hayati face-palmed and Draco did flout the ridiculous puns Icon was apt to shout. Hey guys, we should really branch out. That one earned him a candy cane straight to the snout. Nova and Jay knelt at the tree's base. Concentration and sweat marked either one's face. With Cyborg and End, they snipped ribbons and lace in a hardcore, intense, mega gift-wrapping race. I patted the winner, Jay took home the gold, and wandered until I was out in the cold. I started to shiver, but then I took hold. A beautiful scene had begun to unfold. Christy and Maddie stood out in the snow, as did Butterfly, Storm, and dear sweet Yo-Yo. They talked and they laughed amongst sips of cocoa, warm in the chill of the holiday glow. Further away, near a dip in the yard, Dream and Drop Echo were fast on their guard, but not fast enough. They fell, and fell hard. Laughing, that is, both snowball scarred. The pond by the barn had iced over quite thick, a makeshift skating rink, glassy and slick. Nat, Bree, and Elsie slid gracefully, quick, across the transfigured water with nary a click. Not too far from them was a nominal crew, Chow, Trilly, and Mel, and Olivia too, all spread out making a snow angel's zoo. The frost was their sky, through the ground they flew. And then there were voices, the bells of a sleigh. I glanced over my shoulder through the white and the gray to see Tara, Brooke, Azzy, and Birdie, and Say, singing and skipping, carolers they. A large group pushed past me to get to their ride. The Christmas parade would be soon, said the guide. Clocky, Z, Tashi, and Sandwich hopped inside, in hopes of a show filled with Christmassy pride. Their sled took off, and then up drove a van. Last call for presents, yelled a strange driver man. Sock, Demi, and Ultima joined with his clan to fulfill their last-minute gift shopping plan. Alexandria, Raven, Shade, Hannah, and the Me Guy were back at the building, their socks hung to dry. Red Hair passed out candy canes, didn't say why, and left before anyone could even reply. I nibbled the treat as I came to admire the sight of the hearth all a-crackle with fire. I edged a bit closer, hoped my shoes would get drier, and saw who had come round this way to retire. Susie and Gray held their palms to the flames, while Gold's paper footballs had inferno aims. Cosma and Teeb discussed NTWF dames. Scar and Sarn snuggled, whispered each other's names. Other members were hanging our stockings with care. Christos and Yoidi and Kai were all there. Tiao embroidered names in the fur cuffs with flair, but even more decorations were going up in our lair. I squinted as colors burst, vivid and bright, from the multiple strings of prismatic light. Gav, Joel, and Snackbox tossed them, Loop Hunter pulled tight, and properly hung, they chased off the night. A crowd outside bunched themselves, huddled and slow, in awe of the flashing dots in our window. Thundy, Leb, JH, all faces I know, had come with Parrot and Joker to survey the show. Now before I could wave, I was kidnapped by my own feet, who had talked with my nose about something quite sweet. I followed their lead and was plopped in a seat by the kitchen where warmth had burned out all the heat. The counters were filled like the air was with flour. Luna and Gina ran on baking power. They, Purple and Whip, made a glorious tower of cookies that soon we could all help devour. Juice Celeste and RT made a gingerbread house, with wallpaper made of a white frosting douse. Jules, despite getting some dye in her blouse, made the gumdrop cat and the peppermint mouse. With the cookies for Santa already prepared, Mizumu and Uziku had their task declared. Sketch Borovan helped as they plotted and shared their reindeer food recipes, contrasted, compared. I hummed to myself as then further I strayed to the wards of the forum's huge theater arcade. All kinds of Christmas movies were being displayed to viewers like Alyssa, Joe, Cantark, and Jade. The parlor hosted Goron, Komori, and Bui, who had all settled down with a Christmas and tea. Herdy and Bianca, while sipping their tea, reveled in all of the stories and comics to see. The writing room was where Ciel and Riku found their muse. BC, Saber, and Tiger had slipped off their shoes and gotten comfy with age beauty to pick and to choose, whether to write of the springtime or write of the blues. The studio was wrapped with much the same feeling. Kappa Grove, Char, and Pacmanite, well, they were all dealing with charcoals and pencils so fine and appealing. Paint covered most of the floor and the ceiling. Torquay, PFA, Chloe Mew, and Scrack had smiled as they passed in an amorphous pack. Betts, Omni, and Bacon greeted me back as Drew and Hunter fended off a weird robot attack. Nearing the end of my holiday quest, I came across a few more friends, all warmly dressed. Selm led Reeve Crimson Friday in a winter contest to see who had the ugliest sweater or vest. Candy was flitting around to bestow the gift of randomized snogs, mistletoe. Leo and Strife shared a kiss just below, with Cookie by their side. Isn't she cute? I know! I looked on with fondness, but then heard the sound of what sounded like hooves scuffing up on the ground. I turned on my heel, and what I then found was a sight surely made just to shock and astound. Our benevolent leader, Pat Jade, was there, with a Santa hat flopping down over her hair. Her mods were lined up with 2 sleigh lines to share, all with little elf hats and fake antlers to wear. On Dan, on Jins, on Carrie, she cried. I need Style and Squeesh and GLQ by my side. To Mia, Crystal, and Craig, my joys and my pride. Hunty, Fjord, Killick, Zyla, come on now, let's ride. With a click of her boots on the wood of the floor, she snapped on the reins, and away they all tore. I couldn't believe it, impossible, I swore. But no, they were flying. Away they did soar. That Christmas was magic, I'd soon come to see. I found what the forum truly meant to me, and the NTWF were together and free. Free to be happy, or really, just be. And the next day, Robin got a new bedroom set and a flat screen TV. And it was the best Christmas ever. The end. Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. But yeah, Merry Christmas, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna stop the video now.